Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. I keep forgetting stupid volume, I swear to God, why is it so loud? There you go. I gave myself think now. Alright, hi everyone, hope you're all doing well. I can do a video today on my current Mastodon spider that I've been using since I got back into Crossout, and I was using this also before I finished, I think like the last month or so. It's this Mastodon cohort spider with bigrams, or bigrams, whatever you say. I say bigrams. By here, I'm also going to do a sort of a speculation video on a build or on a Reaper build that I made, but I have not. I probably won't have the chance to run it, so I'm gonna just go through that after this. But for now, it's the this current Mastodon spider. The reason I'm chucking this up is because I haven't done one of these videos in a while, especially for my main build. And even though you have slight changes to builds, they do adapt all the time. What the fuck is that cat doing? And yeah, also because I have built a slightly better Mastodon spider, which I just finished like an hour ago, as it happens. It's got a an avert cohort build, which is I think is a lot better than the Omamori currently for the meta. Also managed to squeeze an extra like 500 Dura out of my previous cohort build. That's the one I'm about to show. So yeah, it's pretty good, but I haven't had a chance to test it out yet, so I'll do around Clan Wars sometime this week, and if it works, I'll check up this new build sometime next week. But for now, this is the build I'm going to be checking up just because it's tried and tested, and I really like it. So what am I going to do? Right, I'll chuck up a sort of a build walkthrough thingy clip now, just to show you how to build it, and then once that's done, I'll have a bit of a rant over the choices of the build and why I think it's applicable to like the current meta in Clan Wars. So yeah, enjoy. With that's done, I'm going to babble on about random things. So the first is the choice of cabin. I think cohorts are just going to be superior to humpbacks for the current punny meta that you see. Pretty much most of the top teams at the moment are running either full punishers or Helioses in the same sort of design, or a mix of punishers and bugs. That's basically what you'll see. This is actually pretty solid against punishers and bugs, mostly because of the cohort cab. So the reason why it's better than the humpback is that with all the spaced armor in the game, mastodons don't really seem to benefit all that much from getting the humpback perk anymore. So the 30% damage boost that you'll get, which against a full punny team, is basically a dog team, same type of style of play, whereby they charge you and they'll stay in front of you until either they win or they lose. There's very little peekaboo in. So you'd think, like on paper, the humpback would be great for that because you'd be getting the perk most of the time. But in reality, because you're shooting at spaced armor with or most of the time you'd be shooting at spaced armor with the Mastodons, the perk doesn't really seem to do that much. You know, going from, was it like 780 base to like 1,000 damage, doesn't really do that much because it's overkilling the spaced armor essentially. So the humpback works best when you're firing against like single pieces that you just want to get as big a number as you can on, like, you know, guns and carbines. But that doesn't happen against punny builds too often. You need to get through quite a lot to build to get to the guns or the carb. So yeah, cohort is better in my opinion. You also get the cohort perk, which is nice. Apparently, it applies to the whole build. I haven't tested this out, but this is what I've been told, which makes no sense because the description says cabin, but apparently applies to the entire thing. That's also kind of strange with the Ermac, where it just says you get damage resist, but that's only actually if you hit the cabin and not the build like it would suggest. But yeah, so cohort perk is actually pretty nice. I think they might have fixed. I don't know if I've read any changes, but yeah, the cohort perk seems to be going off a lot better these days than it was previously. Normally, you'd hit a cohort perk for yourself, and then it would hardly ever go towards a teammate. But from what I've been running it lately, it pretty much always seems to go to at least one teammate just close by. It's a lot more reliable. It's probably only getting a small buff from that, but you know, it seems to be a bit better. The cohort perk is also nice because obviously you get more structure, so it equals more armor and more health. And the health is especially important against punny teams because you they will tend to get most of us around on it, so you'll be getting shot in the sides and the back of the build fairly regularly against a good punny team. You know, you can't just it's not like back in the day. If you had spider versus spider fights, for example, you could get away with having a humpback or quite a weak cabin. It wouldn't really matter because you very rarely get shot in the side or the back. It's quite easy to keep a guy in front of you. But against full punny teams, obviously they can get a bit of a surround on you. So having extra health on your cabin and having the perk to give it a bit more damage just really does come in handy. In terms of the design, is pretty bog standard. To also help against the punnies, you've got the Omamori, which is pretty nice. It is attached to both of the guns, as you can see, not the cab. I think it'd be a bad idea to attach it to both the guns and the cabin, just because you'll get overloaded pretty damn quick. You've also got the back end, I don't know what it's called back. Okay, this bit of armor and the train plow in the middle of the gun. So even though you don't have much space, you've still got what, 1,000 duro from these two parts to block any damage. Good amount of health from the side, so it's quite hard to strip. And yeah, I really like it. Okay, is there anything else to bang on about with spiders? Oh, in terms of MLs, I haven't done any ML builds lately. I've just stuck to bioguns because the ML is again a buff in the next patch, which is coming, I think, like this week. So I want to wait until that's changed until I start building ML spiders. For those who aren't aware, the ML is going to be able to mount in pretty much any direction, which will be pretty cool. Because what you do with a build like this, but you have the MLs coming like down this way, and then it should save on space. You could ideally do like 2 rear MLs and then 3 frontal MLs from only 5 in total, but that should be fine to be honest for most builds, I would imagine. Especially in the current meta, you know, you're not going up against things that will destroy your legs all too often. And yeah, that's basically it for the co-op Mastodon. So I'll go on to now the I guess a speculative build, the Reaper build. The Reaper build. I won't go into like a full build breakdown of this, mostly because the armoring isn't my build. I just basically stole the armoring for the build off the spiders on Exib. Wow, that was my cat. Jesus Christ, you're okay. You're okay. That was dramatic. Um, yeah, I stole the armoring from builds on Exib, so it's not basically my build. The only thing that is mine, damn cats, is the mountain. So get rid of all this. No, I need that. Right, so this is the only important part I want to show you. So it's got, as you can see, a Verta Humpback, and the avert is attached to this gun by here, this gun by here, and it's attached to the cabin. So this ideally would be sent up against like punny teams if you're on a full spider team when you're going up against a punny team, because you will have how much health? 4k? I don't say 4k. Yes, you get 4k health with an averter on the cab, so that's 5k effective HP, and you get a barrier. Plus the guns are locked in, the firing angles are pretty damn solid. I switched the cabs around over to the cabin on this side. Mostly you'll see the cab on this side with the guns on that is because of the drum. If you mount the guns on this side, the drum sticks in the air, which is a bit of a bitch. So I switched them around. The gun fires. You can put a Goliath also. I forgot to mention that. It's got 5k HP effective with a Goliath at the front. So the weapons fire straight down here, nice solid angle, and yeah, it's pretty hard to hit, I would say. In terms of going up against Punishers, I should have one saved here. Yeah. Right, so if you're fighting up against a Punisher, obviously you can lock it like this to fire at the angles, which is pretty cool. So what I would personally do is fire at an angle where his guns can't shoot at your guns, but you can still hit his build. So go for the right side, your right side of his hovers. I would do personally. At first, once he's dipped a bit and he's flying around, it's going to be a lot like this. When they're flying like this, they've lost a few hovers. It's much more difficult for them to land accurate shots up against a Reaper. So at this point, you just focus on the car, and of course you've got a barrier. So you can expose your guns a lot more when the barrier is up, and then once the barrier is down, you can lock the angles a bit more. That's personally how I would use it. I think it could be applicable for full spider teams when they go up against punny hovers or the meta as well. Honestly, if you go up against bugs and this thing, you'll be fine. Just keep the guy in front of you. But yeah, I won't have the opportunity to run this build because my clan is like a dog push clan. I'm on hovers most of the time, and if I do run spiders, I'll probably be on a new master. So yeah, I won't have the opportunity to run this. But if there's a spider team out there that wants to try it out, that'd probably be pretty cool. Let me know how it goes. And like I said, the only real special thing about it is that the avert is mounted to all three of these things. So yeah, I hope that helps. I'll chuck these builds up on Exib after the video is done. So thanks everyone for watching, and I'll catch you around.